What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We're back down at the mill site today. We're going to be cutting some 12.5-foot 2x4s out of this red oak log, and I think we're going to be cutting a couple more logs a little bit later. So let's go ahead and get started. I get a lot of questions about the capacity of my sawmill. I can cut about 17 feet long, and I can cut a 36-inch wide slab, but I've had logs as big as about 42 inches on the mill. So if you didn't see the video that I put up a couple months ago when I first got this sawmill, I placed the order in March of 2022, and I picked up the sawmill from the Pennsylvania Wood-Mizer in February of 2023. So this red oak log was down on the ground, actually. So you can see the outside of the log has a lot of rotten stuff, but when we squared up all the sides and got into the core of the log, there was a lot of really good wood inside. And as usual, I have to give a big thank you to my dad for helping me out with the sawing today. Whenever he's available, he likes to come down and give an extra hand while we're sawing. And it's always nice to have two people. A lot of times I have to saw by myself, but when my dad's around, he definitely helps out, and we get a lot more stuff done. Some people were wondering where I was sawing this, if this was at my house. This is actually not at my house. Some friend of ours have a property pretty close to our house. They had a bunch of trees come down, and they're just trying to get rid of all the trees. And so I figured I would bring my sawmill up there, the skid steer up there, and I'm just kind of working up here. After I finish up work in the shop, I'm kind of just working at these logs here and there, a couple hours a day type of thing. And we're working through them slowly but surely, but it is nice after I get finished up in the shop to ride up here and do a little bit of sawing in the evenings. Like I said at the beginning of the video, we're cutting 12.5-foot 2x4s today. So we've got all of our boards flipped up on edge, and we're cutting the width dimension of the 2x4, which in this case is 3 5/8 of an inch. So we'll just make a couple passes on the sawmill and start pulling boards off.
"32 12-footers in bed."
For a log that looked as rough as this one did on the outside, I was surprised that we got such clean boards out of it. I was super thrilled when we started pulling them all off.
Yeah, these are some really nice boards, actually.
That tree was very straight.
We spent quite a bit of time getting that pallet nice and level on the ground. Having a good flat base for your stacks is absolutely critical. If your base is warped or not level or bent in some direction, your boards are all going to dry just like that. So we spent a little bit of time just to make sure that it was right, and hopefully it'll pay off in the long run with nice flat boards. So now that we got the other 12.5 footers stacked, this was the second log of the day that we were going to saw. So we got it up on the sawmill and we're ready to make the first cut. So by far the hardest part of running this sawmill is rotating the logs. If they're big like this, you're not going to be able to do it with a cant hook. So a method that we decided to try was with a strap. We basically ran the strap around the log a couple times, ran the strap back through itself, and hooked it to the fork on the skid steer. It worked really, really well. This log went pretty fast. We've already got the boards flipped up on edge and we're cutting our 2x4s now. This log did have quite a bit of cracking going down the center of the log. I think it cracked when it fell. So a lot of the 2x4s ended up having structural issues and cracks that made them unusable, but we did keep them anyway since you can always use 2x4s in shorter lengths. So you can see the 12.5 footers that we cut at the beginning of the video on the bottom of the stack. Just laying out some more stickers now so we can get the other 12.5 footers on the stack so they can get to drying. Some people really hate stacking and stickering lumber. I don't hate stacking and stickering the wood. It's a lot easier if you have a second person helping you out. So like I said, as usual, thank you to my dad for lending an extra hand and helping out with the stacking and the stickering. It does go a lot faster with two people. Thank you guys so much for watching this week's video. I had a lot of fun cutting these 2x4s today, and they're going to come in really handy for a really cool project down the road. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell while you're at it. That way you get notified whenever I post a new video. We're going to be building a really cool walnut bathroom vanity next week, and you're definitely going to want to check that out.
It had the tool on there that takes the bark off.
Yeah, the debarker. Yeah, that way if there's dirt, it's a little circular saw blade that just, all it does is remove the dirt and the bark.
Saves your blades, bunch of good boards out.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys in the next one.